What's up, everybody? This video is gonna be about, you know, I don't want to say, I don't mean it in a harsh way, but you're not special, man. I'm not special. Nobody on this earth, like nobody's special, man. You know, cause like a lot of times we get caught up in so much of in ourselves. Like, of course, you're supposed to be caught up in yourself and all that, you know. But the journey of life, everybody gonna go through some shit. You know, everybody gonna go through some shit. You know, it might not look as bad for some people. It might be horrible for some people. You know, but the crazy thing is, it's just like somebody overcame that shit and thrived off that situation. You know, so it's just like a lot of people still be operating out the past, and then like whatever bad event happened to them in life, you know, they carry that on with that victim mentality. And you know, they just so like and they own stuck in their own ways, feel like the world owed them, you know, because they haven't, you know, taken accountability yet. You know, because like, yeah, you know, certain cards might be dealt to you. Everybody get cards dealt with them. Some cards is better. Some people's cards, some people get dealt bad cards. Some people get dealt great cards. And some people get cards just like, yeah, you know, but anyways, it's just like, so whatever card you dealt with, you got to work with that shit, you know. And a lot of the times, people, like myself included, it's just like certain things happen in my life. I want to play victim and shit. You know, I want to feel special. I want to feel valid, that I felt like the world owed me. I felt like I was just this only person on this earth going through some shit. You know, I had that mentality. And there's a lot of people out here. I had that mentality. I felt like the world owed me. I blamed everything but myself and my mindset. You know what I'm saying? So it just like, and I realized, I was like, damn. And I read the Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And this chapter was like, you are not special. He was going in debt with it. And I started thinking, I'm like, damn, I ain't special. It's somebody that went through what I went through. And they turned that shit into greatness. Turned that shit into fucking success. Turned that into, you know, extraordinary things. And that can happen with you. You know, take that, whatever situation, whatever fucked up event that happened in your life, because somebody had that same shit happen to them. And guess what they did? And there's somebody, guess what they did? They turned that shit into greatness. They turned that shit into success. Whatever they might look like to you. Everybody got their own definition of success. Everybody has their own definition of greatness. Whatever that look like to you. But don't play that victim card shit. Don't be all stuck in your ways feeling like everybody owes you. Nah. So I have some people that's really down bad, fucked up right now because they feel like the world owed them, you know, and nobody really owes you. You're not special. I'm not special, you know. So basically what I'm saying, you gotta get out your damn feelings. Some days you might feel, you might be going through some shit in your mind. You might feel it some days, but guess what? You gotta do at the end of the day. You gotta say, man, you know what? I'm feeling this way today, but hey, guess what? I'm still the fucking man. I'm still great. I'm still excellent. I'm still gonna get the work done. I'm still going to be great. I'm still going to thrive. You gotta have that mentality, you know, because you gotta realize, you gotta remind yourself, like, dang, somebody went through the same thing I went through, and what they do, turn that shit into a positive. They turned that pain into greatness. They turned that pain into success, you know. Shit, we could say, I mean, it's kind of like cliche, but we could say Michael Jordan, you know, he didn't make what was it? He didn't make the varsity team or something in high school and shit. He was JV, but guess what? He didn't just, you know, but it's a lot of people, just because they ain't make varsity in high school, they give up on their hoop dreams. Instead of what Michael Jordan do, turn that pain into a success. So he's like, all right, you know what? Fuck that. I'm ready to do this shit. You know, now he's one of the greatest basketball players in the world. I mean, not in the world. He became the greatest basketball player ever. But yeah, like, that's just an example though, you know. But, and then you got some people who done been through the worst of the worst. I mean, the worst of the worst, and they still ended up successful. You had people that was homeless. You had people that was, you know, we're gonna go with the R word, people that done had some bad shit happen to them, and they still thrived. They still became successful. They still turned that into greatness, you know, because they realized it's like, dang, I was dealt this hand, I was dealt this card, but guess what? I'm still going to win. I'm still a winner. And they had that mentality. And that's what they did. They won at the end of the day. And you know, so it's just like whatever situation you going through or you have been through, don't keep that in your mind. Like, don't be operating off the past, you know, because you got always remember someone else been through the same exact situation you've been through. And if somebody's going through something worse out there than you, and they still showing up every day for themselves. You know, that's what I realized. I'm like, damn, there's people going out here going through worse shit than me. And they still showing up for themselves. They still, you know, they still showing up for themselves every day. They still turning their negative situation into a great situation, a positive situation. So that's what keeps me going. Cause I be like, dang, I'm not special. I'm not special, bro. I am not special. No one's special, man. Whatever you've been through, somebody already done been through that. You ain't gonna be the only one to go through things. You're not gonna be the first, and you're not gonna be the last. It's just how it go. Everybody go through some type of adversity, but don't play the victim card, man. You gotta keep on having a positive mental attitude. You know, yes, have a positive mental attitude. You know, there's always a positive situation in every situation that looks negative. You know, some shit may happen to you in childhood that was out of your control, but you're older now. If you're older now, you can turn it into a positive. You know, that's what I'm saying. So you're not gonna be the first person or the last person to face some shit. So don't feel like you're special and the world owes you, because the world don't owe you a goddamn thing. And it's really your own world, you know, so you could choose what you want to do in it. So that's all I wanted to say today. Out.